What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the iMove Health channel, where our doctors of physical therapy drop fresh tips on exercise, injury, and rehab. So if solid education about how you can feel better, move better, and perform better resonates with you, then stick around, because today we're going to answer 3 of the most common questions that we get regarding low back pain. And at the end, we'll let you know what the greatest tool is that you can use against back pain. Let's go. Question 1. I had an MRI and my doctor said that I had the spine of an 80-year-old. What does that mean for me? Listen, it is well documented that what is seen on an MRI is not always directly associated with symptoms. Some findings, such as bulging discs or degeneration, are normal anatomic variations that have not been shown to have a meaningful linkage to pain. Findings such as bulging discs or degeneration are normal anatomic variations that have not been shown to have a meaningful linkage to pain. Let's break that down. Several studies have looked at the correlation between age, abnormal image findings, and low back pain. And what they have consistently found is this. As we age, the higher the likelihood of abnormal image findings. However, this is true in people with symptoms and people without. This helps us understand that certain image findings are part of the normal aging process, rather than a disease process that requires surgical or other invasive treatment. So what does that mean for you? I want you to latch on to 2 things. First, if you're holding on to the notion that you have degenerative disc disease, try to reframe your thinking. That's almost like saying that someone has chronic gray head disease. Second, if you do have pain and you have one of these variations, it doesn't mean that you're doomed to having pain forever, because as we just saw, it is very normal for these variations to exist in a pain-free individual. Now, don't get me wrong. Serious injuries, cancers, or other pathologies can occur in the spine, and for those, imaging is incredibly important to rule them in or out. The point we're making here is threefold. Number 1, degenerative changes are normal. Number 2, imaging does not always point to pain. And number 3, strength is king. Question 2, can my back really be thrown out of place? Let's unpack this statement a little bit, because it's something we hear often. Without diving too deep into the anatomy, understand that the spine has layers upon layers of connective structures holding it together. That includes ligaments firmly supporting the joints and muscles creating dynamic stability. And guys, these ligaments are everywhere, between the joints, on the sides, on the front, on the back. The spine is loaded with them. And all told, the amount of appreciable motion that can be expected from each spinal segment is 2 to 4 millimeters. That's roughly the thickness of 2 pennies. You might be thinking, yeah, but didn't you just say that degenerative changes are normal? Yeah, and you would be right. And although those connective tissues can weaken over time, we think it's safe to say that the bones won't simply jump out of place as a result. Think of it this way. Like most regions of the body, you can experience increased movement of the spine. We usually classify this as clinical instability of some sort. But whatever actions our ligaments fail to perform, the surrounding muscles can usually pick up the slack, creating stability and restoring the balance that our bodies desire. The human body is full of redundancies, and the spine is no different. So, can your back go out of joint? It's unlikely, and for the sake of generalizing, I'll just say no. If you're being told that your back is going out regularly and needs to be put back in, just ask yourself, if someone knows what's wrong with me, why aren't they giving me a long-term solution instead of just the same temporary fix? Question 3, is bed rest good for back pain? Nope. No. Gone should be the days of recommending bed rest for back pain. We have plenty of evidence showing the benefits of early return to activity and implementation of a progressive loading program. Now, mind you, there is a line between early loading and overdoing it. We're not saying run a marathon, but we're not saying binge watch 2 seasons of Ozark while you recover either. TENS units, ice, and heat are cool for an at-home pick-me-up, but they probably aren't the best use of your time when it comes to long-term recovery. Strength is your greatest defense against back pain. Strength is your greatest defense against back pain. So there you have it, 3 of the most common questions regarding low back pain. If you have any other questions about low back pain, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and while you're at it, be sure to give that like and share button some love too. And if you want to learn more about exercise, injury, and rehab, feel free to check out our blog at iMoveHealth.com.